evening. This is Judy Gilmore with Rarely Vermont Photography, and I just wanted to talk about 3 reasons why I think you should have scenic landscapes as your wallpaper photography or your wallpaper on your electronic devices. The first one is inspiration, and scientists are now thinking that the Oxford Languages definition, which is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative, is actually not quite accurate anymore. Scott Barry Kaufman says, in a culture obsessed with measuring talent and ability, we often overlook the important role of inspiration. Inspiration propels a person from apathy to possibility and transforms the way we perceive our own capabilities. So most people are likely inspired by other people or new experiences, mastery of skills, but they're not inspired people. This surprised me, honestly, aren't as competitive as a lot of other people. So if your friend isn't very competitive, they're probably inspired a bit more than you are. So ways that you can be inspired. Be open to it. Be open to new experiences. I know change is hard. Trust me, change is very hard. But those that are open to new experiences tend to be more inspired. So, if you're a late sleeper and you want to be inspired by a sunrise, you're going to have to go to bed a little bit earlier and set that alarm clock a little bit earlier because the sunrise is pretty early, at least in the summer. Right now, it's not getting up till about 7:30. But, or if you just want to enjoy the house before the kids get up, then you got to go to bed a little bit earlier and get up a little bit earlier. Or, if you want to take that class you've been thinking of, take the class. You might fail, but there's so much growth in failure. Another thing to do to help yourself be inspired is set up a helpful trigger. What is a helpful trigger? For me, a helpful trigger often is listening to a podcast by a coach that I really enjoy. And normally while I'm listening to her driving, I get so many ideas. Sometimes the motivation is a little lacking once I get out of the car, but at least, that process has been started. I've been inspired and I have new ideas. This is also by Scott Barry Kaufman. To become personally inspired, the best you can do is to set up optimal circumstances for inspiration. So is there an object that inspires you? Do you really like running, but you haven't been doing it lately? Well, maybe put your running shoes where you can see them so you're inspired to go for a run. Do you like gardening? Did your mom like gardening? Are you inspired to garden because your mom gardened? Well, maybe put a garden trowel where you can see it. Or place another object of something that you want to accomplish where you can see it. Maybe an idea inspires you, an idea of no world hunger, or loving your neighbor next door, or down the street, or across the world, or raising kids to be productive adults instead of just large kids. I know several people that raising adults is their goal. Or listen to books on tape, about that idea, or find a podcast or a blog post about that idea. What work of art inspires you? I'm a landscape photographer. I love traveling places and taking photos and seeing those photos again and dreaming about having been there or going back again or this memory or that memory, maybe even, hey, I could hike that mountain if I lost a little bit more weight and got a little bit more in shape. So, there's all sorts of ways to be inspired. But you have to use whatever inspires you because we're all different. What inspires me might not inspire you, or maybe you just need to tweak a little bit to get it to inspire you. But, take some time each day to sit with what inspires you. Inspiration versus perspiration. We've all heard the Thomas Edison quote, 1% inspiration and 99% perspirations. Guess what? Scientists think he's wrong. Hard work will most likely be required to reach the goal, but it's hard to reach the goal if you're not inspired to reach the goal because we focus on what we want to focus on. We could say, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds by the summer. But if I don't want to lose 30 pounds by the summer, I'm not inspired and I'm not motivated. So sometimes you just have to roll ideas around in your head a little bit to see what truly inspires you and what truly is going to motivate you. And so the next thing after inspiration comes motivation. Did you see that one coming? Motivation, per Merriam-Webster, the condition of being driven to act, a stimulus or an influence. And per psychologytoday.com, research shows people can influence their own levels of motivation and self-control. This is one of the reasons why motivational quotes are so popular, because they help us stay on task or to reach a goal. And motivational quotes, they often help us feel like we have control over our lives, over our actions, and over our happiness. And I would argue that a picture that you like can be a good motivational prompt. A landscape you want to travel to, I already touched on that. A product you want once a goal is reached. Maybe you want the new iPhone or whatever is out there right now. So if you hang a picture of it and you knock out some debt, maybe that's something you can go get. Or a picture of the thinner you before you had the babies, or before, let's face it, the COVID-19 additional pounds, or a picture of your family or whatever else you're grateful for. All these can be very motivating. And the same with inspiration. Your motivation is as unique you are. Your why is different than mine or Fred or Jennifer or Karen's. And your inspirational wallpaper should reflect you. Choose the positive. You have choice. You are a master of your attitude. Choose the positive, the constructive. Optimism is a faith that leads to success. Bruce Lee. And so lastly, we come to mindset. And so along with inspiring and motivating you, a scenic landscape can also help your mindset. A new study shows the average person thinks around 6,200 thoughts per day. There are only 1,444 minutes in a day, and almost 500 of those should be spent sleeping. That leaves 6.6 thoughts per minute. And a lot of those thoughts are repetitive from yesterday and negative. Some research says up to 5 thoughts per minute are negative. That leaves 1.6 thoughts per minute that are positive. That is not a good ratio. That is such a bad ratio. Our brains are very efficient, don't get me wrong, and they're wired for survival, but they're also lazy. And it's easier to think the same thoughts that we thought yesterday than it is to create new thoughts and new pathways in the brain. So the I worthless thought you had yesterday will probably happen again today. Because let's just face it, the wagon cart is completely entrenched in the path that it took yesterday. And it's just hard to make a new pathway. But this comes to us from Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers and sisters, fill your minds with beauty and truth. Meditate on whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is good, whatever is virtuous and praiseworthy. So the more time you think about stuff that is pure and good, the more those negative ruts are going to get filled in, and the easier it is going to be able to start forming some new pathways in your brain. And some ways that you can help form some new pathways is to, every time you come across a lie in your brain, think of something that's right. And maybe the thing to help you is a screen capture of an email praising you for a job well done, or a picture of a trip that worked out that by all rights should not have worked out, or a quote of somebody who came from worse conditions than you did and succeeded, because then you know it's possible and you just need to get over the hurdles in your way. So that's it. That's my spiel for why I think you should have some landscape photos as your wallpaper for inspiration, motivation, and mindset. And if you'd like some, there's a link in my About section. And hey, you get 12 free photos, already sized for your desktop, already sized for your cell phone, and there are 24 different quotes between the 12 photos. So hey, sign up, contact me, DM me, message me, post on my page. But yeah, let me know, was this helpful for you? Would you rather have some other point at some other time? Or hey, let me know. And yeah, I see that Erica posted she loves her quiet time in the morning, so go to bed early. I totally agree with that. I do much better when I actually get to bed on time. But if you got any other questions, let me know. And hey, hope to catch you next time. Now if I can figure out how to turn this thing off. Good night. Oh, good golly, that's so scary. Okay. I didn't die. Alrighty. Talk to you next time. Now if I can figure out how to turn this thing off. Good night. How about we not create a clip? How about we just... Yep, we're gonna skip that. Oh, good golly, that was so scary. Okay, how do I find that and how do I post it? Because I do want to post that because I did do it. Holy crap, that was scary. How do I get to my live? Can I not get to my live? Okay, how do I do a new one? Okay. All right, so. Hey, this is Judy Gilmore with Really Vermont Photography, and I just wanted to talk about 3 reasons why I think you should have scenic landscapes as your... Okay. Okay. Oh, good golly. Okay, so I need... This is Judy Gilmore with Really Vermont Photography, and I just wanted to talk about 3 reasons why I think you should have scenic... Okay.
Judy, oh my gosh, I know the feeling so very well. I completely remember my very first live video, and I swear to you, I thought I was going to have a heart attack and possibly die. But I remember my business coach was like, "You're going live at this, like, pick a time. That's when you're going live." And then she said, "And I'm going to be there, and I want you to pick a couple of other people to tell so that they can be there and support you as well." And so it was so funny because my very first live, it was literally like my coach and two of my friends. And nobody was there, but they were there, and they were just supporting me and inspiring me and encouraging me. So, and now look at me, like I get to be live with Stacy's, and I have zero idea where that stopped off. But anyway, I was just saying, like, I completely remember being in your shoes, and here I am now. I go live multiple times a week, and I have not died yet. So, if that was your first one, they only get better. And actually, like, in all honesty, like, this isn't me just like being your coach and saying, you know, like, "Oh, you're so amazing," to build you up. Like, you really did a great job. Loved your quotes. Loved that you had 3 succinct points, and it was all great. So good job. It will totally get better and easier.
Oh, let's see. Oh, there was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, let's do that. Oh, good golly. Here we go.